must be talking about that linchpin life.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're here with Lexx Cammy, who's one of the newest artists to join the Linchpin Bunch, and I'm really excited to get to talk to her here today. She's a really exciting up-and-coming soul and R&B artist. Her new song, Hearts Don't Lie, is absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't listened to it on SoundCloud or YouTube yet, definitely have to check it out. I'm probably one of the at least a couple hundred views worth of the song. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Lexx.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's actually out on all platforms.
All platforms. That's right. Absolutely.
It's fine. But thank you I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited to get to, because we've texted a little bit, but we haven't really had a real conversation yet. So I'm excited because I don't know a ton about you besides the fact that I absolutely love your new song.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I want to start with sort of like the basics of, I want to know, where you're from, sort of like your background.
Yeah.
As you become this new upcoming artist.
Right. So I'm actually from Georgia, GA. And so I'm not from Atlanta. A lot of people, when they hear Georgia, they automatically assume, oh, she's from Atlanta. No, I'm from Tifton. It's a small town in Georgia. And pretty much I have like two sisters, one brother. My mom and dad are both here. And I have a lot of nieces. Keep count. But I have a lot of nieces. But that's my background. Just pretty much a small country girl that is looking to, expand. Music expand for the most part. Yeah, and I love R&B. I love soul. I like putting that in my music because it makes people relate to it, feel it. They're able to like it, and actually
absolutely
do what I'm saying as far as the lyrics go,
Yeah. No, and I think you definitely feel that with Hearts Don't Lie. Like,
yeah.
Especially the first time I heard it, I was just like, okay, it's almost like similar in a sense of like, especially I would say like that 2000 R&B area, where it really like, for lack of a better way, it hit the soul, right? And it kind of reminded me of that. That's why I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you have a couple of siblings. Are you the middle child? Are you the youngest, the oldest?
I'm actually the baby.
You're the baby?
I'm the baby, yeah. I'm the baby of the bunch. So my mom has 3 kids and my dad has 2. Mm-hmm. But they're half siblings, so, still brothers and sisters. They're half. We don't share the same parents.
Right. I also have 2 half siblings, and it's like that weird thing of like some people see you as half, but we don't see each other as half. So
they're definitely blood, regardless of half or not.
Right. So you mentioned you're from Georgia. Now I will say I haven't heard of the town you're from. I'm one of those people.
Haven't, unless you're like it's like the outskirts. It's like more southern Georgia. You know how Atlanta is north, right?
Right.
It's south, more so towards like Jacksonville, towards Florida.
Oh, okay.
It's down there by Florida, pretty much. You're closer to Florida than you are any other state, going north. Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, I'm literally in Florida right now. I'm from Florida. So
yeah. Cool.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Florida is a beautiful place. Very beautiful.
Oh, absolutely.
I've been to certain parts of Florida, but haven't visited all, the whole thing as a whole. Florida, you got so many different cities, right? You got Orlando, you got Fort Lauderdale, you got Miami. I'll tell you one place I haven't been yet, Miami. And I want to go there.
I love Miami.
Miami,
Miami, Miami's a different animal.
Areas I haven't been to that I really want to go. Like, eventually I'll be able to take those trips there. Just been busy lately.
Yeah. So I lived by Miami for about 4 years for college.
Yeah.
I lived north of Fort Lauderdale in a place called Boca Raton.
Mm-hmm.
And Miami's about an hour away. I absolutely love Miami. Miami's phenomenal. They
I
got some
like
shockingly good food from like different cultures you wouldn't expect. Like they got
right,
some really good Greek food down there.
so much about Miami. I just want to go. So
Oh,
one day
absolutely.
I'm going. Whenever I get time to go, I'm gonna go ahead and travel more.
Awesome. I think you'll have a good time.
Yeah.
So I want to know a little bit about, like you mentioned that you're an R&B soul artist. I want to know a little bit about your background in music. So, who were your influences? Do you remember, what was the last time you really felt that, music is a deep passion of yours? Do you have was there any other family relatives that really got you into music? Sort of paint me a picture.
So when I was around about 6, right, my dad bought me my first karaoke machine with a mic and all that stuff. So I would just listen to music and I would try to sing it and sing. I started very, very young, but it was hard for me to pursue because I felt like the town that I come from, not many people were actually really, really doing music like that, right? So it's kind of hard to be within reach of people that's actually doing it for real, that's finding people that really want to do it for real, for real. So the background is I started young. I was singing at talent shows and stuff in schools. I was singing and dancing actually. Yeah, in talent shows. Man, I've been recording music. I would say, like, because I kind of just now became very serious with my craft and stuff, I was practicing. I was always recording with people that I knew that had like studios and stuff. They had them in their basement. I was in the basement trying to come up with stuff. And so yeah, and even when I joined the military, I was recording in a barracks room. Somebody had their own studio set up. I was recording in the barracks room. I've been trying to pursue music for so long that my distractions actually overcame me trying to actually do it.
Right.
Like the distractions with me thinking, oh, well, I'm in a small town. Nobody's gonna really listen to me. I'm young, I'm this, just not actually thinking on a larger scale on where I could be, if I actually took it serious. So now that I feel like, okay, the time is now. Like I've been wanting to do music for so long. I have the talent. I can't waste my God-given talent and do stuff that I don't even know, if I'm supposed to be doing it or not, But I felt music has always been a part of me, always been around. I listen, people that actually influenced me, I would say in this day and age now, like this generation, modern day time, I would say Melly. I like her sound. Melly is a good artist. Kalani, she's a good artist. Beyonce, everybody loves her. Yes, she's amazing, right?
Right.
She's amazing. Rihanna, all of them are like, they have their own like style. And I feel like my style is very different too. But people actually listen to different styles. They like different music. So that's what I want to bring to the world now, like a different sound, a different way to vibe to music. That's what I want to do. Right. So that's my background. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned a couple of artists that really inspire you. You mentioned Beyonce, you mentioned Rihanna, you mentioned Molly, all these people. What
Kalani.
if you had an elevator ride with them, what would be a question you would want to ask them?
I would probably ask them what keeps them focused. What keeps them motivated to want to continue to make the music they put out? Like what keeps them going? Because nowadays, because you got so much stuff happening like COVID and people not really giving you studio time too much, it's just a lot going on. So I would want to know, how are y'all able to remain focused and put out the craft y'all need to put out? How are your studio sessions? Like, is anybody helping you? Are you coming up with all these ideas by yourself? Like, what is actually going on behind the scenes that could benefit me as an artist to be where they are eventually one day? You know what I'm saying?
Right, absolutely. Now,
Yeah.
who is your dream collaborator? If you could collaborate with anybody, living or alive, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Who's past or alive? It could be a producer, it could be, maybe a classicalist, whatever you want. Who would be ideal?
I'm gonna tell you, I forgot to mention the male artists too that I feel I have like a pretty good relation to, as far as how they word their music, how they put out their music, how they do their music, how they record and all that stuff. One person that I would definitely love to collab with will be Chris Brown. Is amazing, right? He's amazing. Like, I've never seen a machine go like him. And I would love to collab with him. I would collab with because I would say Beyonce, but me and her make such different music, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love her music. I love her music so much. But because we're so different and like different artists, I feel like the collab wouldn't be, because actually I forgot to tell you, Sue, that I do a little bit of rapping as well as singing too.
Right.
People, but the new music I have coming out now, you'll get a different side of me, you know. So I kind of rap a little bit in the upcoming song that we have coming out soon. All right, soon. But I would definitely, I have to say Chris Brown. Like, I would love to rap with him. Kalani. I would with her too. There's so many great artists out here that, you know, whew. But yeah, Tory Lanez. Tory, yeah, definitely. I would collab with him too. Yeah, that's out for right now. You know, as far as like my style being my style, you know, Tory Lanez has a lot of music that is like R&B soul type, and then has rap too. He's like a universal artist, just like Chris Brown, you know. So
yeah, no, I think that you hit it right on the head with both of them, because they do so much.
yes.
And have such like different styles, but all of it is so just, it always seems to be on point.
Right. Yes.
It's not like, oh, it's, you know, Chris Brown's a great singer, but his, you know, his rapping, and it's not, you know, it's not as good. It's like both of them are such high class, right?
Yeah. As far as female go, I forgot to mention Queen Naja. She's good. Like, her vocals are really good. I would like to collab with her too. Like, she has a very good sound to me. Her sound is very unique, you know?
Right. Well, we gotta make these happen. We gotta make it happen.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So get up there like, yay, let's get me up there. Yes, that's where I want to be. Like, I want have my own thing going, but also be a part of something bigger, you know?
Right. Yeah. It's, you want to be able to stand on your own 2 feet, but at the same time, you're, you know, something like that, a collaboration, you're with the community, you're with the music community, right? You're doing your own thing, but at the same time, you can come together with others and make something great at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
I love that. Now, you mentioned a little bit before about your when you joined the military.
Yeah.
So I want to touch a little bit about that. What was the process like for you? What was, you know, some of the key factors that made when your decision, and then what has it been like to be serving our country and at the same time you are a musical artist?
Right. So when I first joined the military, right, it was actually around the time that I was making music, but not like serious about it. And then I wrote Hearts Don't Lie. So when I joined, I had went through an experience that I never felt before. And I was like, I need to get away. I need to get away. I need to get into a new environment, new people. I need to meet new people, be around different things. Like, this is not it here, right? Because I was still in my hometown. So I went up to the recruiter station. I'm like, I think I want to join the Army. He's like, think? I was like, yeah, I think I do. So it was very spiteful, but I'm so glad I did it because I've learned so much as far as discipline go, as far as doing something different. Because before all of this, I was doing music, I was trying to do modeling. I had hosted different parties, shows in Atlanta. I was doing a lot of side model work. I did a runway show. I was doing all of that side gig stuff. And I wanted to try something different, like the military, something challenging, something that's gonna make me put in the work to get what I want, right? So I went and applied. I went to the joining stations called MEPS. It was just like, I swore in, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to the Army right now, right? Excuse my language, going to the Army. I couldn't even believe I just went through the process. It literally took me 2 weeks to be shipped off to basic, from going to visit the recruiter station to being shipped to basic training. 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
I want to go. So it was like very just a moment where I just wanted to get out and do like just do something different. I got tired of being in that place. I didn't want to end up depressed or anything. So I'm like, I want to go do something different, something challenging. So yeah, and my first duty station after joining was Hawaii. I was in Hawaii at Schofield Barracks. Very nice island, Oahu. Very nice. I loved it there. It's so much you can do there. But as far as the training go, with the military, they train a lot. Which is not bad, but you're not actually able to enjoy the island if, like you would if you were going there for just vacation, right? Because you have to all the time. So yeah, joining it wasn't hard. I was there. Basic training was the most challenging for me, I think, for anybody, because they're supposed to turn you into a soldier from being a civilian. So basic training was the hardest. I tell you, I wrote my mom like every chance I got, I was writing her like, Ma, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. I'm like, whew, this is hard. I'm like, Mom, I'm trying. Like, keep pushing, baby, you'll be fine. I'm like, Mom, I'm trying, oh no. What kept me together, because I'm religious, I'm not trying to push religion on anybody, but I'm religious, and I believe in God and all this. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, what got me through basic training, because it was so hard, even though I was injured in everything. I had gotten injured. At one point I thought I was gonna have to go home and recover, then start basic training all over again. I'm like, oh no. So what helped me was keeping the faith that I had in God to be able to push through the hard times I was having. I would write the 23rd Psalm, I think it's 23rd Psalm scripture every day, just writing it. Yeah, every day. I would write it, and I would write other scriptures too to try to get through the pain I was feeling, because at one point I thought I wasn't gonna make it. I was gonna make it. It's hard, it's hard. So I was just keeping the faith. I was going to church. I was like, I got to go to church, and then again, that was the only time we were able to actually get out and do something besides being stuck up in the barracks, stuck up doing drills, training and this and that, was to go to church. That's the only free day we had, was to go to church on Sundays. So I would go to every church service there were and try to get from this was causing me pain at the time. I was like, I need Jesus. I need God.
I need Jesus, but at the same time, I also need a break. So we killing two birds with one stone here.
I'm not the only soldier that done felt like I'm going to church during base training. Like, I gotta go to church. Like,
yeah.
To push through it, man, you gotta have strength, and especially you gotta have faith. Because I kept my faith and I kept pushing. So they require us to do a PT test, right? You have to do a PT test at the end of every at least I think you gotta pass at least 3, if I'm not mistaken. It may have changed now, but so my very last one, you had to pass that to graduate and go to advanced training, right?
Right.
So, man, when I tell you, I limped my whole PT test. I limped the 2-mile run. I limped it the whole way. And I just kept praying like, God, I gotta make it past the time. I gotta make it. And I just limped the whole thing. And when I tell you I made it to the finish line and I passed, I'm like, whew, I dropped to my knees. Thank you, Jesus. Because I've got to stay there. I knew I was hurt and the doctor was trying to persuade me, you need to go home and heal. You need to go home and heal for 30 days and come back and we'll start you where you left off. And I'm like, no, I have to graduate with my class. I have to. I'm not going to go home for 30 days and my class is going to get into another class. Nope, I gotta graduate. So I did it. And that was the most challenging thing for me. Now that I'm actually in the big army and I'm traveling, doing all the military stuff, it is fun. It's fun to travel. I've been to Korea. I've been to Thailand. I've been to the Philippines, Hawaii. Now I'm in Kentucky. So I've been a pretty good bit of places with the military. And I think all of that experience, like learning, it definitely sets you up for civilian life to be able to do things with discipline, time management, all that stuff for civilian life. And I just look forward to doing music. I look forward to still continuing school because they help you with school also, you know. Wow. And that's my goal for the upcoming years: music, school, you know, and work somewhere that, you know, pays good.
Right. Now, let me ask you, why was, I think we can all tell, like, from hearing that whole story, you are a hard worker, you're a grinder, you go, I mean, oh, yeah. Being in the military and then being an artist is not easy to do separately, but at the same time but why was it for you, this is something that struck me, why for you was it so important to graduate with your class? Was there a specific reason, or was it the principle behind it?
It's my ambition. That's my goal. So when I set a goal for myself, I want to achieve that goal. Now, because I knew the goal was so much closer than it was further away, I knew I had to do what it took to be able to get that goal that's closer to me. Waiting 30 days to get a goal that I could have got, you know, before. Right. Yeah. So it's just my ambition. Once I set my mind to do something, it's very rare that you could change my mindset once it's set to do something. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Once I'm wanting to do music and I want to like engage with my fans, like be around, be more like interactive on social media, I'm gonna do that because that's what I feel like is gonna help my career and also give my fans what they want from me, you know? Right. I have to keep that where it is as far as like being a goal for me. I have to keep that goal, you know, I have to achieve that goal. And I know some people be like, okay, well, goals can take years, months, you know? But I'm a person that if it's closer, why not push to get the closer goal? Why not push to achieve it before a year, a month, or 30 days? You know what I mean? So that's that's why it was so important to go ahead and graduate and finish it. Like, I just had to.
Yeah.
I had to do. Yeah.
I love that. Now I guess you mentioned about you've been to Korea, you've been to the Philippines, you've been to Thailand, you've been back to Hawaii. What have those what would you say those experiences have added to your art and your craft? Would you say any aspects of that, whether it's the things you saw, the culture, the people, any of that has influenced your art, whether something you've made like Hearts Don't Lie or something you're planning to make, anything like that?
As far as the traveling go, I think that would, because it was part of my military training, right? So I know one thing, being in those places, I didn't have access to music hardly. So I wouldn't say that would be, I wouldn't say being in those places influenced the art, but I will say that I was able to write while I was there at some point in time. So that during the free time, I was able to write more, and I was able to concentrate more. Yeah, we train, but not like 24/7. You always have some down. So during my downtime, I was able to write. You've had the phone I actually had. You have to, the phones, you pretty much have to purchase a phone over there, and the phone that you normally use have all your music and stuff on there, and so it's kind of not available because they didn't always have Wi-Fi and all that stuff, or internet to be able to access the things that you needed as you would in America. So yeah, the only thing I was able to do was write. Their culture is very, very unique, to them. It was, and to me actually, it was pretty pretty entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
The way they do things, the way they speak. They are very friendly people, very friendly people. Everywhere I went, as far as Korea and Thailand and Philippines, they are friendly people. They love Americans, so we're able to get the gist of training with their army too, and seeing how they do things as a whole on in their country,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing. Just like being able to interact with people who are doing something similar to you, who are also serving for them, and getting to see it from almost like their perspective. You know what I mean?
So one thing I actually noticed, so we did bring our cooks as well to help cook, and we would eat their food and they would eat our food. They love American food, and their food was so good too. Like, man, we were able to like pretty much exchange foods.
Oh, wow.
Get the gist of what Thailand food tastes like and what American food tastes like. It was so cool to be able to experience their, like, how they eat and what they eat. I think is so like cool.
Almost like it seems like the sharing of cultures in a way.
Yeah, it's definitely sharing cultures, definitely. Yeah,
that's amazing. I can't even imagine how good that must have been.
And it was fun. Some days when we weren't training, it was definitely fun. But we basically went there to train. Like, that was the original plan to do, was to go train. But we were able to enjoy ourselves as well. As just like in Korea, we were able to, enjoy ourselves and meet Koreans and go to their malls and shop and all that. It was pretty cool.
Wow. Now you mentioned, you talked about how while you were there, you really did some, you got a chance to do some writing for your own work and everything. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about your creative process. are you looking for a sound first? Is it maybe like a line or a lyric that hits you and you kind of build outwards from there? Is it an overall concept? Is it a story? How do you go about the way of writing something like Hearts Don't Lie or any of the new things you have coming out soon?
So honestly, this may be different from everybody else's writing strategies, but what I do is I don't hear a beat. I don't hear music. I don't hear music. All I do is write down what I'm thinking right now. How I feel right now. That's how I've been doing it lately. Just writing down, kind of like writing a letter to yourself, but just writing how you feel. Then I go find a beat that I like, right? Then I'll start plugging words into that beat, and making it flow. I take words out, I add other words in. So that's how I do my writing. Now, if I'm just in a studio and I didn't really plan on recording that day, but I'm brainstorming, just brainstorming, right? I would listen to a beat first and then come up with some words. And it's basically on how I'm feeling, like how I feel at that moment, at that time. Just like with the upcoming song, I can't give you too much about it because it's gonna be a pretty good surprise. But the song that's gonna come out after Hearts Don't Lie, the next single, is gonna have a little bit of a different style than Hearts Don't Lie, but it's gonna be along the lines, you know. Mm-hmm. The only different style is there's a little rap in it, and I think people will actually love it, like it. Different for me to rap, but hey, you gotta do what you got talent to do, right? So so it's gonna be pretty cool. I think everybody definitely like this new one coming up too. And I just appreciate everybody that's already liking Hearts Don't Lie and sharing it and like just going bananas.
Absolutely.
Everybody that is definitely liking it, man, because that is a blessing for one. That's a blessing, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of to me it's kind of hard not to like. You know what I mean? It's like once you hear it that first time, it's sort of like, again, we talked about, it hits that soul part of it that you're missing, that you were talking about, and I don't know. It's like hard to explain. It almost like latches onto you almost in a way.
Oh, the thing is that song was inspired by a breakup that I had dealt with in my past, right? Mm-hmm. And most people, I'm pretty sure they can relate because you have lost a relationship at some point in time, right? Boy, girl, doesn't matter. You've lost something. And I felt that way at the time of writing that. So like I told you, I write stuff down, I write how I feel. I found the beat and I plugged the words in, and it was a song from there. I came up with a style, how I wanted to say it, do it, and everything came together. So it was just experiencing that pain, you know? It's a different type of pain. So you can hear it in the music, the soul. That's soul. You can hear it. And just a breakup that I thought was gonna last me a lifetime.
Right.
You know? Yeah. And it didn't work out that way because it's always either somebody's unfaithful, somebody is not being honest, loyalty, trust issues. It's always something.
Right.
When you put so much into people and invest so much into people, our problem is we expect so much in return. And that is what we shouldn't be putting an expectation on. What that person can give us, how that person can make us feel. Right. So that song was inspired because I felt like, I gave this person everything. I gave them 150% of me, right? And they only gave me 20. Right. And at the time, you're blinded by how you feel about that person, that you don't understand that that person is sucking you dry, and there's sometimes they're using you, and you're kind of blind to that because you care about them so much, right? No. So yeah, that song was definitely it definitely hit home for the heartbreak, as far as being heartbroken by something that I thought was real. And as far as loyalty go, yeah, there was no loyalty there. So it's just like that really hurt when there's no loyalty there and you giving that person everything you can offer.
Right. I have a old high school friend who used to say, infatuation is like taking the driver's eyes away and stealing the car keys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That's how it is. So that's how Hearts Don't Lie was written and produced, behind that story, that backstory.
Wow. Now, how long would you say it was the process of from that first time you wrote that note about Hearthstone Live, that feeling you have, to the finished product of when you hit that upload button to all platforms? How long of a process would you say that was?
That process could have been no longer than 3 days.
Wow. From the first thought to hitting upload, huh?
Yeah. But because I held on to that song for almost 2 years. The reason I held on to it was because I wanted to wait until I was ready to put it out. Wait until I was ready to tell my story about why I wrote this song. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that gave me enough time to be able to move on and be able to, because I think that was the worst feeling I've ever felt, having to write that. And eventually I wanted people to hear it. Like, I let my close family hear it first. And when I tell you, one of my cousins, when she heard it, she just started crying. She's like, "That's not you." Like, yeah, that's definitely, that is me. She was like, "Oh," she just started crying. Like, she started crying. I was like, yeah. So knowing that, the way that song touched her, I said, okay, it's time. It's time to put it out. It's time to pursue the music that I want to do, put out. It's time to pursue the career in music that I always wanted to do. So we just put it out now. This thing has been like a month now. I want to say like a month.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing how it's doing. It's like so many people have been touched by it, and I'm glad I'm able to be able to give those people something to relate to. You know, knowing that I'm not going through this stuff alone, and that it's other people that have felt the way I felt before. It's very inspiring to me. You know, it motivates me to make more music that people can relate to, and you know, just keep going from there. But yeah, if I would have never held on to it, would have been like 3 days. I literally wrote the song in less than 2 hours.
So it just poured out.
Yeah, it was just natural. It came natural. And when I did that, I knew that, okay, my destiny is to write music. I'm supposed to write music. I'm supposed to record. I'm supposed to be an artist. I don't know what I'm doing right now, but I'm gonna get it together eventually.
Right.
Yeah, but it literally took me less than 2 hours to write that, and less than an hour to find a beat to that would be good for those words.
Wow.
And I literally recorded it in under 2 hours. Yeah.
Wow.
Produced. My cousin actually, he's an engineer, and he produced the music that I put out. And when I tell you that I literally recorded that song in less than 2 hours, I was okay. So I had already known what I wanted to do. Like, I knew what I wanted to do as far as in the studio go. Like, I knew how I wanted the song to go.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wow. And it was just about, because you have that vision of it, and it's just finding the right pieces to put it all together, but at the same time making sure that it's still you and your
Right.
sound.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a pretty neat process. I feel like that's when I knew, all right, I need to start doing more. I need to get out there. If people really gonna listen to it, they're gonna like it. So
Right.
yeah. I'm excited about the next song though, for sure. Just
Yeah. Now, like you mentioned with the next song, you mentioned that you're gonna be doing some rapping in it as well, which I'm very excited to hear.
yeah.
Is there, so now we've got an R&B, soul, there's gonna be a rap element to the next one. Is there another genre of music that you want to maybe dabble in a little bit, one that maybe you grew up on and it's like it's just a part of you and you really want to hit? Is there anything else?
I think honestly, yeah, there is another area I do want to hit. I would say more like an island type feel beat reggae.
Yeah, lean in reggae.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the style. The island music is just like, I actually was working on a island beat when I was in.
Really?
Yeah. So I have words, so just haven't recorded it yet. But yeah, I definitely have been working on some spicy, something spicy.
Spicy is definitely the word to use there for sure.
Oh yeah. So hey, that's down the line when when people are comfortable with, okay, she's doing everything.
Right, there's no rules here.
Right, no rules.
Yeah. Wow.
I know certain artists they pick genre to go into and then just like they stay stuck there. I want to expand. I want to do a lot of different things, you know.
Right.
R&B and soul, that'd be my priority. But I also like the up tempo beats too that I'm able to get on and make it spicy.
Perfect. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So was there like a reggae type of artist that you grew up with, you know, that sound is sort of what you're going for, or is it just the overall vibe and you want to make it your own?
It's just a vibe. I'm gonna
Right.
make it. That's
Right.
what's gonna. I'm gonna make it my own. I'm gonna use their beat, their style, and I'm gonna make it something that I think I'll sound good on.
So if the word we're going to use to describe reggae is spicy, which I think is accurate, what word would you use to describe the type of rap that we should expect in your next piece? Because as a rap fan myself, I think we all can agree there's different forms of that art, that style, right? Whether it's something hard and fast and I would something like an Ice Cube comes to mind. Or you have a little more slow and a little more almost like they're storytellers. I would put like a J. Cole in that area. Where do you think you fit? Or if you don't fit any of those, what word would you use to describe your type of style?
That is a hard question because it was just something that I was just dabbling in. Like I was just,
right.
You know, I think it has more of a, let's see, who could I actually, honestly, it's original. It doesn't, I don't hear any other artists on that type of rap style. It's a little fast and it's a little fast and slow. So it's fast and slowed down as well. But it's catchy. Yeah.
Well, I think we should use let's use the word dabble for your style.
Yeah, it's like a dabble. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Perfect. So we mentioned you mentioned all the type of music that you have coming out. The new one that has the rap element that we talked about with the dabble, potentially reggae coming out, all that type of thing. Now when you were making the decision of I want to pursue music, even though like you mentioned, you always knew that you had a love for music. When
Right.
you're making the decision of I want to pursue it more in a full-time manner or as a career type of way, I guess the how I'm trying to phrase this is like, is there an avenue that you plan to do? Or is it sort of like you mentioned with a lot of your music, it's just following the soul and letting the music come out? Because again, like you mentioned, I don't think you ever planned to have to write a song like Hearts Don't Lie.
Yeah.
But it happened. So is that sort of like I guess my how I'm trying to phrase.
So that I think I understand what you're trying to say.
Right.
So that won't be the forever style.
Mhm.
It's that's just showing a part of me, like, oh yeah, she can sing, or oh yeah, she can rap. That's just
Right.
showing part of what I've dealt with, right?
Right.
But a lot of the new music is going to be based on who I am now. After dealing with a lot of this stuff I dealt with in the past, either going through the heartbreak, going through everything else, now this is Lexx Cammy. Is what they're gonna get. So and that's gonna be very confident, sweet still, but very confident, and just can rock a world.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, so I saw on Twitter recently, if you all don't follow Lexx Cammy on Twitter, you should. It's Lexx_Cammy. I love your Twitter because it projects that it's you and it's raw and it's real. So
I love
this, but
fans.
yeah.
I need to make more videos to, interact more. But yeah, I definitely respond. So I respond.
well, you tweeted this. You tweeted this a couple days ago, and for some reason, I don't want to. It caught me, right? It caught me. So you tweeted 3 days ago. My biggest goal this year is to stop playing around with my own potential. Now, what can you expand on that more? Is there a certain area? Are you talking specifically about music, or is this just overall? And what does the word potential mean to you?
So when I tweeted that, I felt like, okay, I got all this talent, right? All this talent, and I'm just sitting here just letting it go to waste. When I know that I am destined to do something, even if it wasn't music, I'm destined to do something, because that's just how I feel. Like, I'm ambitious. I gotta do something. I have to make a name for myself regardless, right?
Right.
And that's just so I can have things to fall back on. My family can have things to fall back on, or anybody, any friends, people that's around me. I'm supposed to do something, right? So when I mentioned potential, I know that I should have been doing music years ago, right? I knew I should have been taking it serious years ago, but I decided to join the military. So that kind of put the music on hold. So I've been doing things that's been putting what I'm really supposed to be doing on hold, right? Now, people always limit themselves to what they feel like they can do, or what they think they can't do or can do. They always limit themselves. And I'm a person that doesn't have any limits, right? Because meanwhile, I'm doing my music stuff, right? I'm going to continue doing music. I'm going to continue engaging with my fans. But on the side, they don't know that I'm in school. I'm pursuing my doctorate. I'm going to be a doctor, right? But I still want to do music because I know that's what I'm supposed to be doing, right? So whenever I get into med school, I'm still gonna be doing music. I don't have any limits. You can't tell me, nobody can tell me, oh, well, when you get in med school, you're not gonna have time. You will have time. The little time I have in between me going to med school and doing schoolwork, I'm gonna also be recording, engaging with my fans. I'm gonna be doing everything to my utmost potential. So that's what I meant. So that's my biggest goal this year. Finish school, put more music out, engage with my fans, hear more from them and what the fans want, and still be able to maintain my life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Now
So that's, I don't put a limit on the things I can do.
right. Now this, like, because this ambition, this energy that you have, this desire to do something, right? Where would you say that was self-taught? Would you say it was inspired by maybe a parent or a sibling? Where do you think this, because it's clear, right? Like, just the way you talk and everything like that is clear. As you, like you mentioned with wanting to finish with your class, right? It's a goal. There's nothing that's going to stand in my way. The only thing that's stopping me is me. Where would you say that mentality comes from?
I think seeing how we were raised, not saying that I had a bad life. I had my mom and dad, but I've always felt like we deserve more, or I wanted more for us. You know? But not in a selfish way, just more to make sure that we're comfortable. You see what I'm saying? Comfortable, not just getting by, but comfortable as well. So I had to teach myself that the only way I'm gonna be able to help my family and be where I need to be in life is if I have that mentality. It starts here first. It starts in the mind first. Your mind is very powerful, right? So it starts there first. If you put it in your mind that you want to do something, you will do it, because that's what you put in your mind to do. If you put in your mind that you can't do something, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. Right. So the more positivity, the more positive things you think, you will be able to be successful and accomplish more in life. So that's self-taught through me. I feel like, and my mom, because she inspires me. You see what I'm saying? She inspires me. She motivates me. Like right now, my mom's in school doing her nursing program. Like she's in med school. So nursing school. And she inspired me, because you're never too like old to go do something.
Right.
And my mom is not old, but just saying, like, no matter how many you have, you're never at an age to where you can't do something. She went back and did it. Although she had 3 kids, she went back and did it. And that motivates me enough to want to do more for her, do more for the family, like be bigger. I always had this bigger mindset, you know, be bigger. And I try to teach my brothers and my sisters and my mom and everybody else that's around me as far as friends go. You got to have a bigger mindset. If you have a bigger mindset, you'll get bigger things in life, which comes with more money, more potential, more everything, right?
Right. Wow.
So that's where I get my mindset from. Me. I'm teaching myself to be able to go get it, because it starts self first. It starts with yourself first.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say to, again, your musical career has really just started popping, right? This is where with Hearts Don't Lie, this is the last, like you said, I think it's been out a month. What would you say to someone who in the year, or the beginning of 2021, who's also thinking about starting their own musical career or any type of creative outlet it might be, but has similar concerns that you did when you're also in school, you're in the military, all these type of things? What would you say to them?
Never let somebody tell you can't do something. Never. You can do whatever you put your mind to do. Whatever you set in your mind to do, you can do that. And if you gotta think twice about it, you shouldn't do it. But if you feel sure enough with what you want to do in life, do it. You have to, because that is what you're supposed to be doing. That's what I would tell them. Do it. Like Nike.
Just do it.
Just do it.
I
You want
love
to
that.
make order? Just do it. You know?
Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah, just go do it. And I make it sound simple, but yeah, there are steps to being able to get where you want to go. But by this time, you have laid those steps out. You know what steps you need to take to get there. So just do it. Just
Right.
step. Just do it. That's
What more can you say besides just do
Right.
it?